Well, some of it is, and demonstratively so. Hello, I'm Amy Zaby with the Jerusalem Connection Red Alert Report for Wednesday, October 27. Whether or not you personally agree with the environmental movement, of which there are many degrees, when environmentalists veer into anti-Semitic behavior, we need to pay attention. Conservation of the earth is indeed a mandate to us from God, and we must be proper stewards of the earth. But we are not to worship it or put the perceived needs of nature above human wellness. This is a debate I can have with the far left environmentalists all day long. However, it is not the purpose of this report. Regardless of the particular vantage point and level of outspoken activism an environmental group has and what it's protesting, excluding Jewish organizations that may have the same agenda is a form of antisemitism. In a classic demonstration of intersectionality, the Sunrise DC group, a progressive climate activist group, called to ban 3 Zionist groups from a voting rights rally in October. Quote, Zionism is incompatible with statehood and political sovereignty, unquote. They said this in its statement. Sunrise DC called for the Declaration of American Democracy Coalition to consider removing 3 Jewish groups from its member list. Sunrise DC, an affiliate of the national group Sunrise Movement, aims to organize youth and protest against climate change. They tweeted a statement last week stating that it has declined a speaking slot in an October Freedom to Vote rally because of the inclusion of Jewish organizations. The statement singled out the Jewish Coalition on Public Affairs, National Jewish Council of Jewish Women, and the Religious Action Center of Reform Judaism, all of whom were scheduled to participate in the rally, and each of these groups support Zionism in the State of Israel. The Sunrise DC statement includes notions about Israel that are one-sided and incorrect. Israel's occupation of the land of Palestine and its people, its engagement in violent and oppressive tactics, stating, as a colonial project, Israel routinely displaces Palestinians, and, quote, it is also treating all Palestinians, as well as black and brown Jewish Israelis, as second-class citizens who have virtually no responsive representation in government, unquote. They also take sides in this issue. We stand with the people of Palestine and not with those who defend Israeli violence. And the diatribe goes on. The statement itself is filled with lies and mischaracterizations of the issues of the region. Moreover, this Sunrise organization works with American youth. This should be as alarming to you as the anti-Semitism that they are openly espousing. And what is ironic is that Israel, as tiny as it is and amidst its most hostile neighbors who want to remove it from the map, have innovated some of the most environmental and climate-protecting innovation solutions known to humanity. Compared to other first world nations, Israel uses its brain power and work ethic to innovate things like water desalination, water from air technology, electric airplanes, and many other environmentally friendly advancements. If you go into any neighboring nation, including Egypt, Lebanon, and others, no other community takes as painstakingly good care of its green space, engages in pollution mitigation, conservation measures, and more. Not only that, when it comes to voting rights, Israeli citizens of any ethnic origin are also free to vote in elections. Moreover, they are free to win elections. American Jews who support Israel and its right to exist are the embodiment of what the core values of this Declaration for American Democracy Coalition is supposed to be standing for. So why else is Sunrise DC's statement anti-Semitic? Let's examine some response from Jewish groups. The American Jewish Congress, in a statement called Sunrise DC's statement, an anti-democratic act. Quote, this move by the Sunrise Movement, a prominent organization dedicated to combating the dangers of climate change, is a brazen political power move. By making this decision, it is attempting to intimidate the organizers of the Freedom to Vote rally into banning Jewish organizations. This is deeply dangerous, as American Jews have fought for civil rights, civil liberties, and the separation of church and state, and multiple other positions that have helped to make America a more just society. We American Jews have an equal right to share our voices, just as all Americans do. Silencing our voices, as the Sunrise Movement demands, is the antithesis of democracy, unquote. And from the Jewish Community Relations Council of Greater Washington, they put out a statement about the DC Sunrise tweet, saying that they were outraged at the situation and called the statement itself anti-Semitic. As DC's Sunrise opposition to Zionism is a, quote, fundamental denial of Jewish self-determination, unquote. I question the very core intent of Sunrise and this Declaration for American Democracy Coalition, as neither group has yet to release any statements on the controversy. The purpose of sharing this demonstration of anti-Semitism with you is not because you might agree or disagree with the voting rights or climate issues, but it's that this group wants to kick out the Zionists from participating in the causes. This reveals to you that anti-Semitism literally seeps into every agenda you can think of, far right, far left, our celebrities, our news, our Congress, our social media. Be vigilant to recognize it and call it out, and be careful that when you engage in your own agenda and work with affiliate groups, that you vet them carefully. If you see but 1 ounce of anti-Semitism, do not excuse it or let it go for a greater cause. Call it out and remove yourself from that affiliation. Moreover, check out the organizations engaging your children and the young adults in your life. Many social issues need to be addressed in our society, and you might find a cause that your heart is drawn to. May your endeavors for whatever social issue be pure and driven by biblically sound doctrine that includes no discrimination or anti-Semitism of any kind. Your cause may be advocated by a secular organization, which is just fine, as long as its tenets do not go against any of your core values and principles. Whether you are advocating for voting rights, race relations, environmental topics, or anything, intersectionality is rampant, and we must align ourselves with groups that do not violate any of our core biblical values. For more information on intersectionality and how to identify it, check out our book, The Casualty of Contempt. Your signed copy is free with a $20 or more donation to the Jerusalem Connection. Shavua Tov, and have a great week.